Whew. Don't get hooked for puss. Don't die for it. Yeah, you should have seen that for last Saturday, bruv. Yeah, hunting.
Yo, chill out, man.
Yeah, hunting.
Yo, chill, bro. I'm cutting this out the edit, fam. You're even mad.
Oh shit! Like,
I'm cutting this out, fam. You're even mad.
You have to cut it out still. Yeah, you have to cut. I didn't even cut. It was live.
We'll talk more with you when we come up live. Yeah, man. It was a vibe still. You're going to that thing on Saturday as well, isn't it?
What thing?
The oil boys thing, isn't it?
It's on Sunday still.
Oh, did they move it or something?
No, it's always been on Sunday, fam.
I thought it was 17th. That's Sunday.
All I know is
17th.
On Sunday still.
Maybe they changed it. I don't know.
You're the Minister of Enjoyment, you know.
Thanks.
If I had to pay for these places, I wouldn't go. So
this guy's calendar just vibes.
You know what's mad? Yeah, the girl I was taking serious before everything opened.
Bro, you're alive, you know. You're alive, by the way.
Oh shit!
Yeah, careful.
You got to edit all this 1 minute 30 seconds. Yeah, edit the whole thing.
Edit it all out.
This guy was about to go out red-handed, bro.
Edit it out. Edit it out.
Did you see my concern? I was like, yo.
You got to edit the whole thing.
Hold on. Let me get the actual YouTube link. Sorry, I sent you guys the stream link. Let me get the actual YouTube link. Then we can. Yeah. Lewis needs to up my pay, fam. He's got me in that slave contract.
Right.
You can never say no like you again, you know.
Don't worry. Touch like we're on live, innit?
Yeah.
Big mess up. That was big mess up.
Big one.
Hey, you know when you did the cut up here, like for the clip or for the thingy, for the tweets and that, yeah? Is that you that does that?
Who?
Say that again?
You know when we send out the tweets, there's normally like a cut up in it, like a cutout of that.
Like a video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that, yeah.
Can you send it to the group chat?
So what before I post it?
Yeah, just send even after you post it, just send it to the group chat.
Okay, send them all. I'll do that as well, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I just look for like something funny that's been said and just cut that bit out.
Yeah.
Cool.
I hope Oscar's in the comments today, man. That guy.
He's trying to, bro. I've got my pot ready. He's trying to cook. That guy is shameless. God.
This is on the live, yeah? Is this going to be recorded?
No, I'm gonna cut all this out. It starts on Spotify and stuff. It starts from when I say it. Like,
so you're going to cut it out, and then are you going to send it to Lewis after it's cut out?
If Lewis listens to it on the streaming services, he will hear it from when I introduce everyone.
All right. So this bit in the beginning, can anyone hear it?
It won't. Yeah, unless he goes to watch on YouTube or something.
So it'll be on YouTube. This bit.
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube basically. Yeah.
Okay, fine. No, I was going to say something wrong.
Just put it in the group chat, bro.
Yeah.
No. I don't even want to put it in the group chat.
Everyone ready? Yeah. When we come off broadcast. So,
yeah.
Everyone ready? Yeah.
Yeah. Ready.
All right. Perfect. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ringside Fracas. We're here to talk some boxing. I'm here with some great gentlemen. How's everyone doing? Leroy, Naeem, Jide, Samps. How are we doing?
I'm good.
It didn't come home, but we moved. I still see my neighbors have the flags and that. It's feeling a bit racist now, but it is what it is. Yeah, they still got their flags in their cars, and I'm like, take it down now, man. Like, it's done.
Nah.
But anyways.
I started that day, yeah, and that's the square, innit? Because I went to one premiere thing for Space Jam. Yeah. I've come out of Leicester Square, the cinema, and bro, all the English fans were there. When I say I've never ever experienced unity, yeah, in my life, like bro. I did that day, in that morning. Wow. As in, these men were offering man bear and that for no reason. That my little sister was jumping in, videoing like, and it's coming out, all singing, those all singing in the Snapchats and that, bro.
That unity didn't last for long, boy.
Once that match was done, yeah, their energy changed.
bro, I was in a pub, yeah. When Saka missed that penalty, he started looking at me funny. Everyone started looking at me. He started looking at me mad funny. I can't even lie. But
I was watching it. It was even calm, but I had the after party lined up in it when it didn't come home. Yeah, I just
everyone, no one's to shake a leg. Everyone's just depressed the party.
Was the party gonna? No one's gonna go to the party. Have fun. Man, just
Bro, I've never had such a silent day at work, bro. Not one email, not one Zoom, not one message, nothing.
I started at 11. Mad. I started work at 11 the next day. No one wants to do nothing. No one was bothered.
Crazy.
And these guys started drinking from what, 9 in the morning? Everyone was out.
Yeah, 7. Some people were at the pub at 7.
I know Lewis has still got an England flag with his car flying around in front of his yard as well. Lewis, if you're listening to this, take it down now, man. It's feeling a bit weird now.
Cool.
Cool. We've got quite a few things to get into today. We've got a good cooking session coming up as well, but we'll save it to later. First, we want to start with the undisputed middleweight. Is it light middle or middleweight? Light middleweight championship of the world.
Undisputed
Championship of the world. That's what I like to hear. Undisputed. I love it.
And that's a PBC fight.
PBC fighter as well.
First light middleweight undisputed fight as well. We're getting it done over here. We're getting it done.
Over where? PBC Sam's chiming in. That's what we're hearing. You guys heard it first. The alignment is clear.
Sorry, man. I just want to gaslight it.
Cool. We got Charlo versus Castano for undisputed championship. Let me go to you first, Jide. The PBC Slayer. How you feeling about this fight?
Listen, as you've noticed, I haven't slandered this fight or anything related to this fight because they're giving us what we want. Like, I always give the PBC credit for the light middleweight division because everyone fought everyone. But this is what they want for boxing. They want to basically monopolize all the divisions. And if they do that, we'll get a situation where everyone fights everyone, right? So, listen, I give them credit for making this fight. Again, it was an easy fight to make because it was in the house. But it's a great fight, man. It's a great fight. Charlo's chasing greatness. I can only respect him. Yeah, and also I respect him even more because he was slandering that bullshit Wilder stuff. Like, listen, Charlo has made a fan of me. I can't lie. He's made a big fan of me. Like, he come out and said it's not about race. He come out and said if Wilder wants that action, listen, bring that action to me. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. Now, listen, I gotta respect it, man. I gotta respect it. And obviously, he's out here ready to fight Castano. I think it's a great styles matchup for him. I think he wins that. He should win that. He's not gonna stop him. I think it's gonna go to points. But yeah, I'm in love with that fight. I'm in love with that fight.
What do you think of Castano as a fighter? I'm not too versed in Castano as a fighter, so like, if you could give me a quick summarize.
I think he's solid. I don't think he's anything like amazing. Like, I haven't seen anything he does that I would say he's got very good timing. That's one thing I'll say about him. He's got very good timing. But apart from that, I don't see anything that I could say makes him a massive threat to Charlo. Obviously, Charlo's got to watch the body work. He's got to watch those sort of intangibles, those tangibles that he brings to the ring. But like, I truly believe Charlo should beat this guy. I'll be very surprised if Jermell loses. Jermell. I don't even know them twins. Their name.
Jermell.
Bro, that is some lazy shit, man.
I'll be very, very surprised if he loses this fight. Like, big man thing.
All right, cool. Let me go to Naeem. Undisputed light middleweight. Give me your thoughts.
I'm happy with it. Like, it's the second undisputed fight we're getting this year, our potential 3. So like, boxing needs these type of fights again. Like, we need one name, one division. That type of stuff is good.
Don't you think it's scary that both undisputed fights so far have gone under the radar?
Yeah.
They're not being promoted, bro.
They're not being promoted properly, in my opinion.
This is the new
and also we're in a pandemic as well, so it's like these men don't want to spend too much money.
I'm not blaming pandemic, man. It's just they're not promoting. That's just
The Josh Taylor fight was mad. That was criminal. Like, it was being broadcasted on what in the UK. Like, it was Sky Sports and pick it up. Fight TV, like,
yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It was just promoted very poorly.
Hopefully this fight gets traction in the US. It should. Charlo's a big name in the US. He's a fairly big name in the US from what I hear. So it should be a good. It's a good fight anyway. Like stars wise, Castaño is going to come forward as a pressure fighter. He's going to try to stop Charlo from getting any space and just keep at him pressure for the whole fight. And Charlo is the better all-round boxer. He's going to try box him. He's stronger. He's bigger. You know, he's better at him than boxing. So I think Charlo should win, and hopefully we get a good performance, a good fight, and a good performance from Charlo. So then we can see him move up to 160 after this. Become undisputed, move up to 160, and call out the big names there. Maybe even he could do what his brother can't get, and might even get the Canelo fight if he's lucky enough. So yeah, it's a good fight, and it sets up a lot of good stuff as well. We need
how many belts? Sorry, Naeem. How many belts does Castano hold? Do you know?
One
belt. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. This is the kind of fights that we'd like to see in boxing, to be honest. And I'm very surprised it's been so straightforward so far. Let me. Sorry, go for it, Naeem.
I was just gonna say he's decent. Like he fought Lara. He took him to a draw, fair enough, and then he fought Teixeira and he completely dominated him. So it's not going to be a complete walkover. It's going to be a good fight. So people should tune into that fight.
Definitely. Let me go to Leroy next. Charlo vs. Castano undisputed. Let me get your thoughts on this fight.
So I haven't seen too much of Castano. I can't lie to you. I've just seen the highlights from his fights. And from the highlights, he looks lively. So I'm hoping it will be a good contest. I mean, he's obviously got a belt at 154, so he must be something. But for me, I've liked the evolution of Jermell Charlo quite a lot, because before he was known as the Charlo that couldn't punch, the Charlo that boxed and moved, the Charlo that was a better boxer but more twinkle toes, didn't really have the power. Now, since he's moved to Derek James for the last few years, he's really been sitting down on his punches, turning into his punches. All I hear Derek James say is rotate. All the time, rotate. So he's proper got him sitting down on his punches, single shots, really pushing that jab. So I feel like the evolution's been great, because he always had good feet and good boxing skills, and now he's really added sitting down to his punches. You see it. He's gone on a killing spree. He's absolutely murdering people. So I mean, even though I don't know much about Castano, it's hard to see past the Charlo win. If he becomes undisputed, that's a massive achievement and shouldn't be understated, because that division is red hot, and it's been red hot. I know the names haven't been big, but in my opinion, the talent has been big. I know he starts Lubin. I don't care what no one says. Lubin's a talent. He's a very, very good. Jide, stop laughing. He's a very, very good fighter. J-Rock, I don't care what no one says. J-Rock, very, very, very good fighter. Hurd has no business being at 154. No business. But he's a massive fighter. That division has been stacked with talent that is underrated, because they're very young, and they've all fought each other and taken each other out young. So for him to come out when the dust settles with all the belts, you can't say nothing to him. So if he does that, fair play to the man.
Definitely a big deal, undisputed. Last but not least, the president of the PBC, the man himself, Sam. Let me get your opinions on the fight. Charlo vs. Castano undisputed.
No, not much needs to be said. We've got undisputed fight at the middleweight division, isn't it? Like, we don't get undisputed fights. We've seen other divisions, whether they come through or not. The hopes and dreams of them coming to fruition, but they don't. So at this situation, we have one. So I'm going to take it with both hands. And on top of it, we've actually got Jermell Charlo, who's always a fan-friendly fighter. He's coming in to try and dog a man out. And to me personally, it's a Derek James. Like, if you're under Derek James's camp, you have to have that dog in you. It seems like those fighters underneath him, they go in there and they try and stop a man. So automatically your fight is not going to be boring. You're not going to get a chess match where guys are playing off each other and waiting each other. You're going to get guys trying to get people out of there. That's what the Charlos bring in general. So from that, I've seen Castillo. I watched him against Lara against a draw. I do think ultimately he gets stopped, or maybe I think he gets stopped. Personally, I think he gets stopped late. So, but I know that he's going to be game. Like, I know, so like Jide doesn't give credit to certain fighters if they're not necessarily a high name or whatever, but I can appreciate a decent opponent that's game, and PBC have put on a fight where we've got a game fighter against a good, solid fighter in Charlo, and we're going to get an undisputed fight. So there's nothing more that needs to be said about that, personally.
I gave Castano credit, though. Like I did give him credit. I'm just saying he's not like a certain man called Barrios that nobody knows about fighting for a Reggie belt. This is a real belt. Do you get what I mean? This is a real belt.
Right into the trap.
Listen, I'll always bite, man. F the PBC.
Do we know if Jermell has said anything about moving up if he wins this fight?
Jermell or Jamal?
Jermell, because I remember there was an interview where he said he's not really interested in moving up.
I don't think he should, because really and truly,
just dominate this division, right?
Because he's only really moved up to 160 not that long ago, and he doesn't look the same monster at 160 that he did at 154. Doesn't look anywhere near the same monster. So how do you expect him to then go up again? Because the jumps at them weights are mad, because they're not the biggest guys in the world, but they're going up 7 and 8 pounds. That is mental. Like, for him to go up to 168. So think about the size of him, and then think about the size of Benavidez. Fuck, they're so much bigger than him. So I don't see how he can make that jump already. Like, he's got a long time to go at 160, in my opinion.
If I was him, I'll chill at 160 and do a Klitschko thing where both brothers has like a belt each or 2 belts each or whatever, and just don't fight. Because if he goes to 168, he gets his ass whooped. He doesn't have the power to hurt guys at 160. Like, he was in his last fight, he was wailing on my man. Like, he was trying to hurt him, and he just couldn't. He couldn't hurt. He just couldn't.
Can't dent him.
You couldn't dent him. Do you know what I mean? And now you're gonna go to 168, where guys are basically the 168 now are 170, 175 actually, like of the past, basically. So you're basically fighting like heavyweights, cosplaying as super middleweights. You're gonna get beat up. He's gonna get beat up, and he knows himself. In my opinion, Canelo knows that he can hurt him at 168. He won't be able to move. So if he wants that Canelo fight, he has to go to 168. Unfortunately for him.
Bro, so, I'm hearing guys like Benavidez come down from 190 something.
Yeah, bro. These guys are the like heavyweights of the past, bro. They just, I don't know, like whatever drugs they're taking, whatever regime they're doing, but they boil it down.
The views of Jide do not represent the views of. If you want a libel case, you can find Jide where you live. Because
I'm not here saying he's definitely juicing in it, but I'm just saying these guys are doing something to boil down in it, like 20 pounds.
Hard work, dedication, bro.
Bro, it's not hard work, man. It's something else. But I'm not saying
it's weight cutting. Weight cutting's a science now. So they do it in MMA all the time. That's a lightweight cut in MMA.
Yeah.
Well, sticking to the PBC / I guess Canelo's super middleweight? Super middleweight division. There's been some reports about this potential Canelo versus Caleb Plant fight, and that would be for Undisputed as well. Canelo is just what a fighter. But there's been reports that the PBC have said that they're willing to host all 2 fights?
They want the free fight deal.
Free fight deal, and they'll do it all on their platform. And obviously, because Canelo's a free agent, I guess they kind of put him in a box where maybe if he doesn't accept that, he's quote unquote maybe ducking or whatever it is. Let me get you guys' thoughts on this whole Canelo Plant drama. Let me go with Jide first, the PBC slayer. Tell me what you think about that.
I'm just saying this is typical PBC nonsense, isn't it? Like, we've got this in all other divisions. This is what they do. They block fights. If it's not in-house, they stop fights from happening. So they've come to Canelo. Canelo's offering bigger money, like the Zone are offering way bigger money. They're like, we're ready to pay you, both of you, career high paid. Like, Caleb, we're gonna make you rich. Come, let's do this 1 fight deal. But Fox, Heyman, like, no, we're not having it. You can't. This fight is not happening unless it's on Fox. Okay, Canelo's like, you know what? That's fine. Then they're saying it has to be a free fight deal. Come on, bro. Basically, what they want is Canelo takes the belt, then Canelo has to fight maybe a Charlo, then he has to fight a Benavidez. That's basically kind of the bullshit they want, innit? And Canelo's like, no, we're not going to do that. The fight's off. So recently, though, they've come back and said, okay, we'll do a 1 fight deal. That's what happens when you're the A side. The rumor is Canelo, the PBC accepting a 1 fight deal. If I'm Canelo, I'm going to be very skeptical about the judges, I'm going to be very skeptical about just everything around it, because for Fox, Heyman, and the PBC to accept a one-fight deal, man, they are going to rob you like you've never been robbed before, if you're not careful anyways. Obviously, we know this is Canelo, but at the same time, listen, boxing, it's all about relations.
You can't rob Canelo.
I'm about to say this.
I hear it, but boxing is about relationships. Remember, before Canelo was unrobbable under Oscar, and Oscar had that relationship with these guys. Eddie doesn't have that clout. Canelo does, but Eddie doesn't. Heyman,
Let me tell you why ultimately that doesn't happen yet, because Canelo stops Plant, so this is dead.
Hopefully. But my thing is, I just want to see the undisputed fight. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired. Like Canelo came out and said, I want this fight where my fans don't have to pay for it. They've done a monetary study in America for how much fans are paying for pay-per-views. And bro, in a year, it reaches almost $1,000. Like, think about that.
Bloody hell.
Think about that. Imagine $1,000 of your hard-earned money you're paying for stupid pay-per-views like Tank versus Barrios and all these other. I'm just saying, did it? Like, pay-per-views should be for the biggest and best fights. But my man, I are trying to charge you $80 for meaty fights. So Canelo's like, bro, I would rather this on the zone where my fans don't have to pay for it. But you know what? Because you lot are playing hardball, one fight deal, let's get it done. So hopefully Caleb is putting pressure on Heyman, saying, I don't want to miss this. I'm not a dickhead. Like, make this fight happen. So we'll see.
Okay, Naeem, let me go to you. What are your thoughts on this Canelo, Caleb Plant, PBC, the zone drama?
I agree with Jide in terms of PBC are obviously trying to find a way to control Canelo, because obviously, he's a pound for pound and the pay-per-view king. It's hard when you have, it's almost difficult to find guys or boxers who will be both, like the pound for pound king and the pay-per-view king, and he's both. But the reason why Canelo became a free agent in the first place was because he wanted the control. He wanted, he saw this, and that's why he signed a deal with the zone. He saw that as the future. So I think this will probably be a one-fight deal, like they're saying now, that they're reporting, and he's probably going to get the knockout. I see him getting the knockout with this, but hopefully they get it done. I don't want it to be them ones where we're getting it done, then it all falls apart. Canelo fights someone else, Plant fights someone else, and then we don't get the undisputed fight. I think the one thing that everyone wants to see is Canelo become undisputed, especially at 168. So hopefully it gets done. Hopefully business doesn't get in the way of all this stuff, because we need these type of fights. And a third undisputed fight this year would be brilliant for boxing. So.
Yeah, especially coming out of the pandemic, man, we actually need these fights. And the state of boxing now, it feels like it's just always constant bad news when the fight's not happening. But we'll see how it goes. Leroy, let me go to you. What do you think about this whole Canelo and Caleb Plant drama?
Do you know what? If I was Caleb Plant, the kind of pressure I'd be putting on Al Heyman, like, this is my meal ticket, don't fuck up. And I would be very reluctant to let him mix his agenda in with it, with Fox and all that. But Canelo is desperate for legacy. He's going to do whatever it takes to get the fight, really. But he's the A side, like you say, so he's got clout with that. I just want the bullshit to stop, man. Fuck all the politics and let's get this on. And the next thing, though, that I see is Plant just asking for ridiculous money. Because he was saying, what, $8 million is being
slave wages.
Before anything was signed, he was already moving mad.
Yeah.
Before anything was signed, he was already chatting rubbish.
They shortchanged him. I'm like, bro, $8 million. Are you sick? Yeah. I'm pocket watching, man. Yeah, but come on, man. Just be reasonable. He's taking the piss. Like he's some big draw or something. So he needs to accept what is fair and what Canelo gives him, and not move mad. Let's get the fight, get KO'd, take his holiday, and then it's fine. Canelo will vacate probably afterwards anyway. He can win a belt back.
Oh man, yeah. Last but not least, the president of the PBC.
I hate the way
listen, you're the president of PBC. That's your title now, bro. President, general.
We're not fans of promotions, bro.
That's what you say. Bro.
I'm trying to like
group just says otherwise.
I just have to like fighters that seem to be under their banner. That's it. But anyway, in regards to the Caleb Plant, like I hear what Jido was saying about robbery and everything, but first of all, does happen because Canelo stops him. Like just, well, as Leroy said, head clean off is happening to Plant. Sorry, man. Like I don't see any difference in skill set between Billy Joe and Plant for me to say, apart from obviously size, for me to say that he offers Canelo any more issues. So sorry, man. Like at this point in the way Canelo is moving and operating, it's a head clean off situation for him. However, Plant is in a good position. Like we've played devil's advocate, where he knows, like Leroy pointed out, Canelo is chasing legacy and will do anything to get, and will do absolutely anything to to get the undisputed done. And in doing that, Plant is trying to play that position and play his cards where he can then monopolize on it and chase a higher paycheck. However, at the end of the day, he's not going to F up the bag because whatever price is better than zero in it, and whatever money you would ever make. So, fuck's sake.
Hey, President Santos catching fire, bro. I'm sorry.
Head of the European operations, bro.
I wish
the PBC.
I wouldn't mind a bust down or two. Like, let me land that.
Should bust it down, yeah.
But yeah, so personally, like Plant's gonna play ball eventually. Like he can pound as much as he wants and make as much noise as he wants. And even Al Heyman knows that at the end of the day, he's still got to operate in the best interest of his fighter. So he's not gonna go fuck it up completely. It's not gonna happen. So they'll get the fight done, and then Canelo slumps him, and then that's it. Career done. He's got his paycheck. He can ride off to the sun like Billy Joe. Billy Joe hasn't made any talks of coming back to boxing, has he?
Fam, man's in Ibiza, bruv.
Yeah, I'll be in Ibiza too. He's got.
We were talking about this in the group chat as well. If Billy Joe retires after that Canelo fight, his career has been super mid.
Yeah. It's been
It's been
very, But
it's a shame because he's mad talented.
Mm-hmm.
He's mad talented. Like as a boxer, Billy Joe's fucking cold. He is fucking fantastic. So that would be really sad actually, because I would love to, if he's going to come back, I'd love to see him fight Andre. I'd love to see him then go and fight Charlo. I want him at 160 because if he's serious and wants to maximize his ability, go 160, fight Andre, fight Charlo, or Andre's at 168, sorry. Then go down and fight Charlo because he's not a 168 fighter. He's too small for it.
I think what that Canelo fight showed us is that he's a good fighter and there's still fights out there for him.
You guys are forgetting something. He got his highest payday and got his eye broken. He's not coming back.
Mish.
The silk sheets are there and his eyes busted. I don't think
that was a flogging.
Fam, I hope they didn't tax him crazy, because he got £5 million.
Yeah, but then the fight was America, isn't it? It's overseas earnings.
I don't know how they do it, boy. I'll pay whatever my accountant wants, bro. Because if I'm not fighting again, £5 million, that needs to last me, bro. So, and I don't know if Billy Joe's like a lavish guy like that. So,
I want to say something, but I want to make sure I'm politically correct. So, essentially, his background ensure that they
should be all right.
I hear it. Leave it there. I think we would have done
it. Anyways, let's move on to the other big gypsy in boxing. I hope everyone's got their pots, their spatulas, their wooden spoons, because it's time for a cooking. I mean, a serious Maggie in the pot cooking, because what the hell is going on with Fury versus Wilder 3? What's going on? And why are we getting this fight in October?
Listen, I will always, when I say, people always say, why do you dislike Wilder more than Fury? Because this is Wilder's fault. Everything that's happening right now.
What?
Deontay. Oh my God. Let me tell you why. Everything that's happening, all the course of events is his fault. Let me tell you why. I'll let me land and I'll let you know why. The reason why Fury is winning the SP's fight of the decade and fight of the year is because of Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury, remember, let's go back 4 years ago, whatever. Tyson Fury was banned for nandrolone, was claiming he's depressed. Actually, let me not say he's claiming he's depressed.
Yeah.
He was depressed. It was all fucked up. And then he was making his comeback. That was when we should have had undisputed, but Wilder was playing hardball. I want this, I want that, I want that, whatever. When Fury came back, he had nothing. All he had was I'm lineal, but no one cares. Nobody gave a shit about lineal. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. No, it's not a lie. It's not the only time. Let's be real. No one mentioned
every
it.
Single time. Sorry to cut you off today. Every single time I heard about lineal, it was getting cooked. That's what I'm gonna say.
Before you continue, maybe you guys are forgetting. Yeah, when in the heat of AJ versus Wilder, AJ was calling out a depressed and 300-pound Fury, saying Fury should come back into the sport so he can take him on and beat the lineal champion. That's literally his words, and he was calling him out after whatever fight it was.
Yeah, but Fury was calling him out. That's why.
This is where you forget something. Fury mentioned him, bro, and AJ said to him, "Get your fat ass off the couch, and when you get in shape, we'll fight." Let's keep it real. It was Fury that was calling him out. The reason why I'm saying no one gave a shit about lineal, nobody talked about it. When it was Wilder versus Fury, AJ, no one cared. When Fury first came back, nobody cared. The people that was talking about lineal was ESPN. Was basically when Fury was trying to promote himself, and they were trying to validate the Wilder versus Fury fight, because remember, Fury brought nothing to the table. Wilder had a WBC. Fury wasn't even a WBC ranked fighter. When they were talking about Fury for Vladimir Klitschko, that wasn't for the WBC. He had no right to be a mandatory, a voluntary, or anything anywhere near Deontay Wilder, but it was marketing. They had to make it seem like champion versus champion. They had to make it seem like it was something worth it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah,
this is facts though. Since Fury won that WBC belt, no one speaks about no lineal no more.
Of course not. No, he's not talking about him being lineal. We don't care. He's WBC champion now because that's just reality.
It's an actual belt.
You know what I mean? But anyway, so we know Fury. There's been a pattern of Fury for years before my man fought Wilder. Fury had no power, no relevance. It was just the guy that beat Vladimir Klitschko coming back, and he's saying he had a story, but he had nothing. Remember the first fight, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury were bum chums. They were bare nice to each other, sitting on the couch, be like, yeah, man, when two fighters want to fight, they can make the fight happen, man. They were on Good Morning Britain, slandering AJ, slandering Eddie, saying, yeah, man, we can't wait to get in the ring together. All that bullshit, all that hillbilly shit, yeah? Cool. Then when the first fight happened and he drew, and they were meant to have the immediate rematch, Fury said no. Fury did what Fury does best. He doesn't listen to nobody. He went in and fought two guys, delayed the second fight for by another year. So that's delayed the heavyweight division by a year. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm saying. This is his fault. Delayed the heavyweight division by a year. Wait. No, but because you empowered this guy. You empowered this. This is what I'm getting. You empowered Fury. But anyway, he delayed the heavyweight division by a year. Then he started talking about he had an animosity towards Fury, but it wasn't crazy. He was just angry that Fury didn't have the immediate rematch with him. Then he got his ass absolutely handed to him, got smashed around. I loved it on Black History Month. My ancestors, I loved every bit of it. I loved it. That was like cocaine to me. And
Did you stay up to watch it?
Bro, I stayed up. That was like cocaine.
So it was a live flogging,
bro. I swear. Was this my current account? No, it was my old account, bro. I can go back to my tweets, bro. I was shouting. I was so happy. But anyway, he got his ass whooped. He got absolutely caned. And then he disappeared. So now he's coming out here saying, I'm the Black King. I'm your king. I empower black fighters, Black Lives Matter, all this bullshit, innit? And saying now Fury's a cheat, he's a gypsy. Look what he did against Vladimir Klitschko. He was popped for Nandrolone. He has a history of cheating. White privilege is why he won. All these bullshit excuses. But bro, you are the one who empowered Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury had nothing 3 years ago. He had nothing. He was nobody. But
he said it himself. He said, I gave you the opportunity.
Yeah. And you didn't want to give Dillian Whyte a shot. You didn't want to give Anthony Joshua a shot. You're claiming Black Lives, I'm the black guy or whatever. I support black fighters. You didn't want to give no black fighters a shot. The only black fighter you gave the shot was Malik Scott, your boy. And he dived for you. You didn't want to give, you had guys like Michael Hunter. You had guys like Michael Hunter about. You had guys like Jerome Miller, Juicy J. Like, no, I'm just
black fighters, bro.
Who?
He fought up black fighters, man. You know
who?
He fought Malik Scott. He fought Washington. He fought what's the other guy's name?
When it was coming up, I'm talking about when he was a champion, bro. I'm not talking about when he's coming up. This is the Mr. I give opportunities. Not when you're coming up and you was making 300k a fight. That's not.
He gave the Vernon rematch, like, bro. Come on.
He did not. Oh my god. So Stavern rematch is giving black fighters an opportunity.
He fought Dominic Brazil. He fought Luis Ortiz.
I was gonna say every fight he fights is black. I swear.
He fought
Bro.
But still, they're all bums though. So I don't know.
No.
Yeah, we're still the bums. I can ride with that.
All absolute bums.
Can't lie.
But Jide, I need you to concentrate. We're not here to cook Wilder. We're here to
No.
cook.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, the main
cool.
thing is Wilder's fault.
Stir it up.
That Fury is doing what he's doing, because now Fury is doing exactly the same thing he was doing when he was when he was around the Klitschko time. He had time. The rematch was meant to happen, falling off the rails, trying to get out of the fight in any way, shape possible. Remember, the arbitration said this fight must happen before September. They've delayed it to October. Is there any are you confident this fight's gonna? Are you confident this guy's not gonna say, "Oh, arbitration's over now. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight you in October." Why are you delaying the fight all the way to October with some COVID?
Fury's out here going to car dealership.
Man's going to out here buy new cars wearing his fake Versace drip that he's worn about 20 times. Like, bro, you're rich, man. Get new clothes.
It's just
get some new clothes, bro. He's going to pick up SPs of fight of the decade. Joseph Parker's out here in going to Conor McGregor fights, and he claims he has COVID. Bro, he doesn't have COVID. He does not have COVID. It's just the fight was not selling because there was bare empty seats. There was no promotion for it. No UK broadcaster picked up the fight. They were not going to make any money out of it. So they were like, you know what we need to do is delay it for a couple more months, bang out promotion, keep talking about you being cheated. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're trying to do. So listen, Fury is the worst guy. He's been made to seem like the greatest fighter of all time because of some bum gave him an opportunity 3 years ago. And this is consistent with his actions. I'm just saying. So
before we go to the complete other end of the pond, let me mediate a little bit and get Naeem involved. To restore some balance, because we've got Sams there chilling. I know you have a lot to say, Sams, but Naeem, what do you think about this whole Fury versus Wilder 3 mess?
I mean, whether you believe Fury's got COVID or not is up to you. For me, there's a lot of stuff that Fury's done before, like his previous history. He's lied before, so it wouldn't be far to say that he's lied about having COVID or anything. Why he's lied, obviously, none of us would be able to tell. What happening, during camp, if anything went wrong when in camp, we wouldn't know. Apparently, he had a black eye or marks or everything. He was getting hit a lot in sparring, but again, we don't know what happens in camp. We just get rumors and everything. It's just weird that they have this fight which was meant to happen, I think, next week, right? And they've now moved it all the way to October. So it's like they've moved it so far that it just seems more like it's now the PBC taking their opportunity to go, okay, fine. It's next week. Let's move it all the way to October 9th. Let's promote it again so they can just make more money off of it. Mainly, I think that's why they moved it so far. Is try to make more money off of it and get more fans into it. But in terms of whether you guys believe him or not, that's up to you. But I just want this fight to be done because we didn't get the AJ fight. That pissed me off. And then now we're not getting this Wilder fight because that's what's stopping us from getting this AJ fight. We want this AJ Usyk fight and this Fury Wilder fight. We want this out of the way. We want them to get through it so we can get the AJ Fury fights. Every boxing fan wants AJ Fury, so it is just getting delayed. And for boxing in general, we need these two heavyweights to come together because this will be one of the biggest sporting events probably in the decade. Probably be one of the biggest sporting events in the decade. So we need it.
You see with COVID, a quick question, a bit of a tangent here, but you see with COVID, if you test positive for COVID and you isolate for 10 days or whatever, and you get tested again, negative straight? Is that how it works? I've never had COVID, so I don't really know.
System. You can still test positive and you start to continue isolating.
Yeah, but it's about how likely you are to transmit it. So if you test positive for COVID and isolate for 10 days, it's highly likely that your body has at least dealt with most of the virus and you're no longer infected.
Okay, because it's just the timeline is just very big to me. But Leroy, let me get your thoughts on this as well. These two.
I don't care about these two. These two bug me, bro. It's just pissing me off we didn't get an undisputed fight, man. And I don't believe Luke. I don't believe Luke at all. He's talking rubbish.
This is coming from a doctor, by the way, guys. An actual doctor, but continue, sorry.
I have to side with... no, don't say that because I'll get done for libel or something. But I have to side with Jide on this because I feel like the reason it was done is because the fights are not selling, no tickets. It wasn't going to make the money they make. I think they made a loss on the last one. They might make another loss again, so they want to promote it through in like college basketball and college sports season and stuff like that and get all that, just so they can actually break even at least or make some money. So I feel that that's why the fight was delayed personally.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything to say because I don't care. Wilder's going to get his ass handed to him again. He's going to promote again. And then the thing is, Wilder's probably going to retire. And we're never going to see Wilder AJ. And that's actually a good fight. Fireworks.
Yeah. I think I prefer that fight, man. That's just a banger. That's a banger.
Everyone would. It's a tragedy we're never going to get that fight. Big tragedy.
That's just a straight shootout. But last but not least, president of the PBC, something good to you and your thoughts about this.
You know, I respect consistency within it. But yeah, you know what's funny enough, yeah? Me and Jide align quite well when it comes to this topic. And I was the one calling out Fury, and so even when Fury obviously was ruled in a great position, I was saying Fury doesn't rematch, guys. He doesn't do it. It's not his MO. Like even him fighting Wilder, he effectively did that on his own terms a year later from the initial fight. So I'm not surprised that where he was in control and forced to fight, he's now found the easiest cop out, which is COVID, to get out of it. I don't believe he has COVID. It does not appear to me that, like, it doesn't appear to me that he's got COVID. And let's be honest, guys, we all know how boxing works. If they had sold out those tickets and the arena was full and so forth, unless he has long COVID where he's actually down and out, and it's just, he's fine. They'll keep it silent, mate. Like, we all saw what Eddie Hearn did with Rivas versus Whyte. Like, that they want to make money at the end of the day. So we know as a box, as a product, they would silently say it would never be known that he had COVID because he didn't have COVID. They might even come out, and if it did come out, they'll say
it happens a lot in boxing as well.
Yeah, like you know, things go on the table. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So in that regard, Luke is chatting shit. He's capping. And I said he was going to do some funny shit as well. When I watched the Gareth Davis interview, where he randomly came out and said, yeah, they was asking him how his training was and how his training is going. The guy replied with, yeah, after he beat Wilder, he felt like killing himself every day for 10 days. I was like, it's a bit weird. I said, this is the mental health get out clause, isn't it? It's about to pop up. So
he's still yet to defend the belt as well, man.
Yeah, and I was looking at thinking, this guy's got a mark on his eye, his lip is cut, and the lady, I don't know the lady's name, but some woman boxing promoter, she called out and she said, I can see by the mark in your eye and your lip that sparring must be tough. And it's like, no, sparring's fine. That's a cold sore on his lip. It's not a cut. So you can cap. That's a cut. Yeah. And then a couple of days later,
he's been lip sync, fam. He's doing mad. So he's telling his wife.
Bro, imagine saying, imagine being so proud.
That's so butters, man.
Sorry,
Quick.
I would say yes, a cut, man. Man said I got herpes. No, it's not from boxing. I just got herpes. That's crazy.
Bear in mind, yeah, he said nothing about the mark on his eye. No. That's not a cut. It's cold sore. I was like, wow.
Even mad. He's so
strange.
Mad. Tyson Fury is mad, man.
And the worst bit is, maybe a day or two later, talks about he's getting stopped in his feet and sparring. A couple of days later, COVID, boom, fights off. Interesting.
Very, very interesting.
Then we're seeing like pictures of him out and about, like within incubation period. What's going on? Like, what's going on? What's happening here? It's quite obvious between that promotion not going so well, seats still being on sale. They've said, we're going to push this back and, we're going to promote this better and so forth. And let's be honest, I don't think Fury fancied it. I don't think his head was in the game. He's been in Vegas. It looks like he's been enjoying himself. Lewis called that out quite quickly, said he doesn't seem like he's switched on for this.
I think that video from his dad routed him a bit as well.
Yeah. I just don't think he was really on it. Like, he just wasn't on it. It's not on his terms. And one thing about Fury, he ensures it's on his terms. The only bit that I'm going to disagree with you there heavily is where he starts talking about Fury not having nothing to the table and so forth. If he didn't, his name would have been in the mix and then mix up, because it's not like Fury's name popped out of the complete blue when Wilder Fury was announced. Fury's name, even though he was depressed and so forth, literally was sparked up from AJ, completely sparked up from AJ when the guy was sitting his ass depressed. Yeah, not boxing. We assumed he was done with boxing. AJ literally, I'm trying to remember what fight it was.
No, Fury was the one that called him, bro.
No, it wasn't.
He beat what's his name? He beat
Fury went on Twitter. Fury went on Twitter and said, "Look at this guy. If I was,
I remember.
I'll beat him up." That's what he said.
Okay, wait.
And AJ won his fight. And then AJ said, "Listen, Luke, go lose some weight and we can fight." AJ's never pulled out Fury unprovoked. That is a fact.
Mate. If I've just won my fight, the biggest fight out there, active fighters, was Wilder. You didn't call that Wilder.
Bro, you need to stop this. During that time, they were trying to make the Wilder fight. Like, we know this, though. Like,
agreed.
So, and this other guy, Tyson Fury, was calling you out. Like, when I say Tyson Fury,
and Sam, you have to remember, like Fury used to tweet about AJ a lot. A lot of it was ignored by AJ. Tweet about it a lot.
You lot chose as well, Gap, and what really destroys your argument, Once AJ then went out and said, Fury, I want to see you back in the ring. I want to take care of whatever shit he's going to go and say. What did Fury go and do next? He started training.
No. He said, to be fair,
he was not.
I don't think he was training for AJ. I think Fury started training because of Wilder. I feel like behind the scenes, they've already
Remember, you can go and do the research. Fury comes out and says, AJ, no worries, I'm gonna beat you, Big Doss, and starts training at 300 pounds.
But Fury went while Fury was overweight. He went to watch one of Wilder's fights, and then went to watch after the fight. He went in the ring. No, he went in the ring and he called him out in front of his face.
It was still
when he was fat.
And remember when they were making Fury Wilder 1, he said verbatim that, "Yo, I'm only out here to beat this guy up because he called me out." You directly said, Tyson Fury, come out your fat ass and whatnot. Bro, they were working it behind the scenes. Remember, they said they were gonna, because we know why Wilder chose Fury. Like, it's not rocket science. The guy wanted.
AJ trying to choose Fury.
No. AJ, listen, Tyson Fury's Tyson Fury, right? But the reason why Wilder wanted that.
Why is it one rule for one and one rule for
no? It's not. I'm not doing one rule for one for the other. I'm telling you, Tyson Fury physically brought nothing to that fight. He didn't have a belt. All he had
I totally agree, but I don't understand why it's okay for AJ to call him out and not.
No, because listen. You're literally not listening at all. Tyson Fury always trolls AJ on Twitter. Always calls him out. AJ ignores him. If you try to lie and say that's not true, then you're just crazy.
I'm not disputing that. But cool. you make a strong argument for that.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you in anything. I'm saying Tyson Fury called out AJ, and AJ went on whatever after his fight and said, Tyson Fury, come out, get when you're back in the ring, we can talk, we can fight.
He said he wants him next.
Yeah. That's fine. Whatever. I don't know exactly what the quote is. Whatever the quote is, I can actually go and find the quote. I bet he's not gonna say he want it next. Whatever.
He said, I want you next.
You can claim whatever you want to claim with that, whatever. Yeah. AJ called out Tyson Fury. I'm not denying that, but I'm telling you, Tyson Fury was trolling AJ and calling him out constantly. But when it came to actually making a fight, he only went to the Wilder fight. He didn't go to the AJ fight. He didn't come and watch AJ fight. He didn't come and approach him in the ring. He went to Wilder. That's why I'm telling you, Wilder and Fury were already working stuff out behind.
That was being set up from time. Man.
That was really being set up.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. So
my sole point was, you said about nothing on the table. My point was, clearly he must have something, in terms of his name, which was enough.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. Listen, Tyson Fury versus AJ, belt or no belt, that was gonna sell in the UK. Like,
there you go. That's it.
I'm saying
Wilder, it's the same thing.
It's not the same thing because listen, should I tell you why it's not the same? I'm telling you, because Fury didn't have a belt. He didn't have anything.
So what did he have against AJ?
It's a
both British, both big Klitschko.
It's a gigantic. They both fought Klitschko, common opponent. One outboxed him, one stopped him. Like
Yeah.
that's a huge domestic. Listen, the AJ Fury fight.
And that same reason.
But for example,
No, it's not the same for Wilder though,
Okay,
and
okay,
both
for
don't sell
example-
much. Wilder's a baby. He doesn't. At the
Listen,
time,
no,
Wilder wasn't a big
forget the baby
draw.
stuff. Forget the baby stuff. The same reason why AJ Fury was not a massive fight in America after all this stuff, just undisputed. They weren't talking. They didn't care about it. It's the same reason because it's always been a massive domestic matchup. That is always going to be a domestic like a huge fight in our shores. They don't care about. They don't care about like, bro. When Fury first went there, yeah, and they were doing the first fight promotion. Not a lot of guys weren't talking about it. They had to bring up the storyline of my man was depressed and all that stuff. And even then, remember the first fight, not many people watched it. This is not cap. This is the truth.
You were in the team. Do you agree with it?
A lot of people didn't watch the fight. It was the second fight. It was the second fight that done 800,000 pay-per-views. Am I lying here though? Am I lying? How many people watched the first fight? Like,
all I would understand here is how one fight is big for one guy, not big for the other guy. That's all I want.
Okay. It's you know what? Yeah, you know
the other people's opinions on it.
Good.
All right. Well, for me, is Wilder.
We know what you're going to say that, but you can.
No. But for me, it's Wilder that's denominating the situation, right? Wilder's not a huge draw in his own country, so and Fury coming off of at that position, Fury coming off. The first fight didn't do that well, not as well as the second fight. The reason why the second fight did well,
like 100,000.
The reason why the second fight did well was the drama that happened in the first fight. So that's just how it's for me anyway.
So Wilder didn't empower Fury. Is that what you're saying?
No, my point is
did Wilder empower Fury? Yes or no?
Equally as profitable, or it was not profitable. It was equally as appealing to both fighters to fight Fury. That's literally my sole point. And you're saying one is.
What do you mean by appealing though? Like, what does that mean?
I'm saying for me,
both names, yeah.
For me, Fury gained 1,000,000 times more than Wilder. Not 1,000,000, but he gained more. He gained way more. He 120% gained more.
You made Wilder,
especially if you have undisputed as well on the table.
Wilder
you have the option to fight AJ there. Like, come on, man, it's a big difference.
Like we saw, we actually saw physically the paper trail of what would have happened if Fury was able to escape that fight. The biggest fight purse ever. What Fury gained way more out of that fight than Wilder was gonna get.
I'm not disputing that. That's fine.
So what? Like, let's say Fury had an IBF belt or something.
You're making a different argument, by the way.
No, my argument is Wilder empowered Fury. That's my argument. That's always been my argument.
Yes, but you're saying, but that's fine.
Let's go to Naeem. Naeem, what do you think?
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think about that point about AJ versus Fury was fine commercially, but Wilder versus
in the UK
wasn't fine.
But we saw Wilder versus Fury. That done like 300,000, bro. We actually saw it.
And what was Wilder's numbers prior to that?
Nothing. What was he doing? So shit. The guy wasn't selling anything. So
clearly, he just maximized his name, and he made his name a household name in the
maximize
President PBC. President. President.
Like, the one rule can't work for one. But go on,
bro. AJ Fury. What do you think that does? Yeah,
let's let him talk.
Wait, I just want one question. If Fury didn't fight Wilder, if Fury did not fight Wilder and Fury fought AJ, what pay-per-view sales do you see that doing in the UK?
It's going to do massive numbers because they're big. Of course, I'm not disagreeing with that. But in economies of scale, they're both big in their markets for the person that's coming up against Fury. It was always
Wilder wasn't big. Wilder's first pay-per-view, as says in the chat, was the Fury fight. That was his first pay-per-view. Okay. Fury won, and that done what to about 300,000, and then they pumped heavy promotion to the second one.
I think the part that's being missed as well is that having the option to actually go for undisputed is there as well. So I think that's what Dillian means by he enabled this, because if you have a belt, he went to watch Klitschko versus AJ. You know, that was being built up on the side as well. He didn't go for that avenue. He went for the Fury avenue. When you have that in comparison, that's where that's the point.
You're forgetting that Wilder was banned from going to AJ fights, mate.
What do you mean? He went to watch. He commentated.
He was banned from going to Wilder fight.
He's talking about Klitschko.
I'm talking about Klitschko.
But one thing Samson will 120% remove the context is, they said Wilder signed a contract and so we can have a fight.
Then you can come to the ring. Other than that, but then Wilder, Klitschko did the exact same thing with the ring.
No, because we use it for clout and PR, bro.
Yeah. But we've been seeing that. You know, Samson knows that. This is what I'm saying. He's PBC, and he'll try to fight the claim. When Klitschko went to watch AJ fight, they fought. They were already negotiating. There was no clout, no funny games, no little man business. When Usyk went and watched AJ, we knew they were gonna have AJ's like, even last year before the AJ Fury stuff. Yeah, AJ said if I was to fight either AJ Fury or Usyk, is a proper guy. He doesn't play games. If I was gonna say who I'm gonna
Why is the fight now?
Huh?
Why is the fight not being announced now?
We'll
talk about that. But I'm just saying, like,
we're still letting Naheem talk, man. Naheem, what's your opinion, man? I want to hear from you.
I mean, if you go back to the point where Fury made his comeback, so like the Safari fight and the Pianetta fight, I don't think AJ was going to take on Fury at that point, because it would have been like, oh, you're taking on a guy who just came off being, fat and the depression and all that. I think Wilder needed a big fight, because just globally in his name, or even in America, he never had a big fight prior to the Fury fight. Like, there was never a big Wilder fight. Like, we weren't really. So he needed a big fight, and I was either AJ. I think at that time when Fury was making a comeback, they were also negotiating for like a year with AJ. I think Wilder, those negotiations went sour because of what they did, the money and all that stuff. And Wilder needed something to give himself leverage. He saw Fury and he took that as an opportunity, because he knows Fury still has that clout from 2015 when he beat Klitschko. So he knows, if I beat Fury, I have something over AJ. Look, I beat Fury. I've beaten the guy that they've named as one of the best boxers from your country. So it gives him leverage in that contract negotiations. If he beat him, he generally thought he was going to beat him.
Yeah,
and AJ probably, if at the time Fury said, "Oh, I wanted to fight AJ wouldn't have fought him. He would have been like, "No, you have to fight someone good. Can't fight like Pianetta and then come to me, because people are going to shit on me. Like, they shit on AJ for fighting like Parker, Ruiz, guys like that. So you have to fight someone, and then we can build this fight." So
I agree. AJ wouldn't have got as much credit.
But he was going to fight him.
He would fight him.
He would fight him. He's not scared. I don't think AJ's scared of Fury.
He would have fought him when he was coming back off depression and mental health or whatever, and drug ban.
I fully agree with you that he would not have gotten as much credit. I 1,000,000% agree. Yeah. But I feel like AJ don't like AJ and Fury. Like, you have to remember, these guys are rivals. They don't really like each other. They don't fuck with each other. I feel like AJ, if Eddie Hearn went to Fury, 60-40 or 65-35, and Fury said yes, AJ would have fought him personally. But 50-50, no chance. 50-50, no chance. At that time, anyways, no chance.
No, at that time, they would have been like, 70-30, because let's be honest, he's been out for 2 years, and he didn't really still have that. He still had a bit of clout, but it wasn't like what he has now when he beat, Wilder and everything. He needed that Wilder fight where it brought his name back up, and now he won.
Like say that. I remember Eddie
Wilder fight was a godsend for him, because let's be honest, after Pianetta, if you're being real, if Wilder didn't offer the fight, who's gonna offer to fight him? Only the contenders, like Dillian, Whyte or something like that. Yeah. It wouldn't have been a champion. It was the only champion that was gonna fight him was Wilder at the time, and that's it, really.
Yeah. And Eddie, and say it's right, Eddie did offer 60-40, and Fury said no, he wants 50-50. He was doing that same bullshit Wilder was doing. So, and then they done that collusion, and now the heavyweight division's been in limbo for 3 years. Great.
Heavyweight division stinks right now, man. I can't even lie.
Any division that there's a PBC fighter stinks, unless they
apart from Charlo's undisputed.
Unless they monopolize it. That's the only time that it's a good division. They're stopping undisputed in bantamweight. They're stopping undisputed in super middleweight. Maybe hopefully they yield. They stopped undisputed in heavyweight. They were pissed when they couldn't get anyone in cruiserweight, which is why they don't rate the WBSS tournament and that bullshit, because they're like, oh, we can't control that. They stopped big fights in lightweight. Like, they're a cancer. The way Bob Arum was a cancer a couple of years ago, PBC is a cancer to the sport right now. And I'll always have that position. But
when Fury fought Wilder the first time, was Dillian Whyte his mandatory?
Yeah.
Fury didn't deserve the fight. He didn't deserve to fight Wilder.
It was a bigger name.
Yeah.
It was a big. And to be honest with you, as much as everyone gets on about Dillian Whyte 100 days, 700.
Fury was a bigger name than Whyte at the time. For Whyte,
yeah.
I was asking.
Whyte wasn't as big. 700 days, whatever. I don't give a shit. I think Dillian Whyte fucked himself. He chose the Matchroom belt route, mandatory route, and fucked himself. I don't care. I personally don't. I don't care. He chose to avoid mandatories. He chose to avoid WBC mandatories. Oh, don't get me wrong. I do agree that WBC were making jump through crazy hoops, but you can't literally say, I'm going to make my own rules up, yeah, and then you guys must still install put me as a mandatory. Don't work.
What rules did he make up, bro? He was number one.
They told us to go and fight Brazil. He said no. He went to go and fight Rivas. He went to go and fight Butte and all them guys. He literally had a path put out. He avoided it. What they said? All right, fuck off then.
How does that work though? Because was he not mandatory already?
No, they told him to go and to be like I'm saying. I do agree. WBC were on some bullshit. Yeah. Fair enough.
We be crooks.
However, as much as there's some bullshit, like you can't go to any kind of like organization that sets rules, not follow the rules, and say I'm gonna go and do my own thing, but you guys must do this. Are you alright?
Bro, the WBC sanctioned the Rivas fight. They said it was an eliminator.
Like, but prior to that, yeah, before the Rivas fight, he was meant to have fought Brazil. He didn't take the fight. He went to go and fight Butte. That's where part of the mix-up came from.
Parker, bro.
Parker, sorry, I apologize. Yeah, that's where part of the mix-up stuck came in. So he chose money. Don't get me wrong, commercial success and everything. I agree. You should do so. However, if you're going to still do that, you can't eat your cake and you can't make your cake and eat it. You can't still be shy about 700 days and so forth. You literally picked your own route. You chose a matching route. So,
I agree with you.
I partly agree, but not completely, because it was mandatory for time before that, and they were doing everything in their power to not give. Bro, Wilder text this guy, like the WBC have this. Wilder text him, I am not going to fight you. There's nothing you can do. No one can make me fight you. If you are a reputable organization and your champion is saying that, bro, the problem with the WBC is they become bum chums with their champions. Like they close you up with their champions and look after them, because they've done it. They did it with Mayweather.
Yeah.
It's true.
You got to remember mandatory the thingy sanctions for the belts, man. They need it.
That's what it is. And because of that, they can get violent, like they can get used.
I can't even lie. When I started getting into this boxing stuff, at some point I didn't know what the difference between PBC and WBC was anymore, because it looked like they were just moving in one unison in terms of Wilder. Not in terms of Wilder, just Wilder. I just didn't know what the difference was anymore.
It's not even just Wilder, because they did the same with Anderson, bro.
Hey guys, man, this is becoming a PBC.
But it's because
Wilder.
No, we're here to flog Fury, to be fair. We are here to flog Fury.
And it's diverted again.
No, it's just, man, they be crooks, man.
We flogged him, yeah. They in bed with Fury, bro. This today, yeah. Simon Jordan was on a call with Mauricio Suleiman. Cooked. He was cooked. Bro, man hanged up. He hung up. He hung up the call, yeah, because he was getting grilled. He couldn't hack it. The man, Simon Jordan, asked him, so you knew the situation. He basically asked him, how can you sanction a fight between Wilder and Fury, but then also sanction before that Wilder and Fury and AJ? Like, how does that work? How can you sanction both fights when you knew the arbitration was supposedly going on? My man was trying to go, there was a COVID 2020 pandemic affected other sports. My man said, yeah, we know that, but reality is, other champions were able to have a fight. AJ was able to have a fight. Other WBC fighters were able to have a fight during that time. Why wasn't that? Like, he was just cooking him. Then he said, have you got Dillian Whyte mandatory for 1,000 days ad infinitum, or whatever some big posh word he was using, yeah? My man was like, he didn't know how to reply, so my man just hung up. He got cooked. He beat crooks. I love it. Bro, when I listened to that, I'm gonna send that clip to the group, yeah. When I listened to that, yeah, I was just in heaven, bro. I was like, finally, someone's asking these dumb guys the right questions. But this is the sport of boxing. This is why, like we're saying, everyone here is gassing over 200k Tank pay-per-views and 300 Errol Spence pay-per-views. I'm just saying, last yeah, we had real stars. We had two stars fighting. Conor McGregor and Poirier did 1.8 to 1.9 pay-per-view. That is what you call stars. That's what Mayweather, Pacquiao, them man used to do. Not some 200k and saying, "Ooh, I'm a superstar." Ooh.
Yeah, remember, UFC model is a completely different model. There's literally 3 fighters that are big names.
What's the model?
Pardon?
What's the model? John Jones is not a big name and he does 800k, fam.
Wait,
No. Listen. No, I said it wrong. It's not that he's not a big name. He's known, but he's not a superstar. He's not like. No, he's not. He's not.
Right now, that is the biggest load of bullshit I think I've ever heard come out.
He's not. 800. Listen, yeah. John Jones done 800k. Izzy. Izzy does about 500, depending on the fighter, 500 to 1 million pay-per-views. Izzy.
Yeah, my point is when you've got
we have Nick Diaz. Like there's bare guys that can do pay-per-views. We have you're here screaming 200k for time.
I agree with you about the 1 million plus, yeah.
2 million. Let's round it up.
Take away Mayweather. Take away Canelo. Who does those numbers in boxing for the last 10 years?
10 years. So
10 years.
Miguel.
Wait. My point being,
Miguel.
Wait, my point being, the same way in UFC, you got a select small pool of numbers that drive, higher numbers. Outside of that, it's mediocre at best, yeah. Then you get some guys in the mid range outside of that, yeah.
Well, you know the media guys in the UFC probably do 200k. The media, that's the media guys.
Because I know about 10 UFC fighters at maximum.
Yeah, but bro, you didn't think Conor and them man would do 1.8, 1.9.
I wasn't surprised by that. That's
to Floyd Mayweather in UFC.
Huh? What did you say?
Conor McGregor and them man equivalent to Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao and them man in the UFC. They do multiple millions, yeah. Then you have to tear down the people who do 500,000. Dillian Whyte does 400, 500 pay-per-views. What's his name? Chisora in the UK does 400k pay-per-views. So, like, there are people who are equivalent to that. Then you've only got a small amount of people, and you've got people who are equivalent. Now, if you look at the boxing landscape in America, it's different in terms of the pay-per-view. And there's only a handful of people who will do more pay-per-views than Tank and Errol Spence. A handful. So if you're top 6, top 7, you cannot say that they're not a star. Rubbish.
He's not a star because he's selling 200k, bro.
Cool.
My man goes to somewhere, not even his hometown, and he sells that stadium.
And pulls out all the stars as well. Celebrities turn up for that.
Stadium. That's what you call some camera trick, bro. They do it all the time.
Oh my god.
Right, let's move on, guys. Let's move on. Before we wrap up, I just want to quickly touch on the current situation of AJ and Usyk and Dillian Whyte as well. Does anybody know what's going on with these two fighters?
Bro, Matchroom, I don't know. They're moving mad, bro. They need to. Basically, I reckon.
Who's moving mad? Is it Usyk or is it AJ? What's going on?
It's Matchroom. I reckon they wanna slap a rematch clause in that fight, and Usyk is probably saying no. Fuck that.
I've heard that Usyk said okay to that.
Has he?
Yeah, I read that he's fine with it with the rematch.
Okay, if he's fine with it, then Matchroom are definitely moving mad. Because what else is there to argue about?
The fight is meant to be in what?
September.
A month and a bit, September. There's no official, nothing, no posters, nothing. I've seen nothing about this fight. All I see is Usyk saying, "I'm coming." That's it.
You guys watched the
like Naramali.
You guys watched the 1 hour IFL special. So what spiel is he giving? What's his reasoning? Is he 98% there, 95% there?
No, he's not said any. All he said is
this week.
All Eddie Q's doing is saying the date.
Yeah, he's saying that it's confirmed September.
Yeah, he's saying the date is like September 28th or some bullshit.
25th, I think. 25th.
Yeah, he keeps saying the date.
Yeah, but he hasn't said anything else.
The fight. So what's the point of saying the date if the fight's not official? Do you get me?
He's moving mad. Eddie Hearn is moving mad. I don't know what's going on in that fight, but
and Dillian as well. He needs to just. I know he wants an easy fight, yeah, but bro, you want to fight in America? Just fight Charles Martin.
Fight Charles, man.
Although I don't think Charles Martin deserves it or should even have that fight, but bro, just fight.
Because PBC?
No, not because of PBC. Because he legit hasn't done anything. Like what the fuck?
He's been winning his fight since.
Yeah. Charles, isn't he really ranked high on the organization?
Yeah, IBF, and he turned down the fight against Hergovich because he's a little bitch. Because he's scared. Because he knows he'll get his ass whooped. But he wants the Dillian fight because he knows there's money in there. But he has nothing for Dillian. Dillian only wants a champion, an easy fight, so he can then fight a champion. He's already got his chin cracked. He saw what happened, yeah. For him losing, he doesn't want to risk that number one or interim, whatever he's got. So he's thinking, fuck this, I want an easy fight. But at the same time,
So what's Charles Martin then?
I think it's an easy fight, but clearly there's something that Dillian's thinking that, bro, fuck this guy, man. He has nothing for me. But whatever it is, yeah. Listen, fuck Charles Martin, man.
I'll say this. I don't get the narrative that he deserves an easy fight. It's like, I get you fought like, very good fighters for however long he's been fighting them.
But he's been in the ring of fire, man, for at least the last 5 fights. It's mad.
Yeah, but
he's getting flogged left, right, and center.
But the two champions in your division are still levels above you. They are levels above you. AJ and Fury are levels above him. You need to close that distance, and the only way you do that is by fighting the best in your division. You just have to keep fighting the best and keep improving yourself. The whole thing about, I remember someone in the group said, oh, he deserved like 3 easy bum fights. And it's like, what that does is he'll get complacent because he'll beat them, he'll knock them out, but he'll get complacent. His skills won't improve. The only way he knows he can take on these world level fighters, the champions, is AJ Fury, is if he fights these world level guys like Martin. Okay, we won't call them world level, but they're still better than easy fights like Martin. Ruiz Jr.'s there. There's just so many guys out there for him to build his name in America.
I don't think Ruiz Jr. will want to fight him, to be honest with you.
He's only called out Ruiz Jr. Ruiz Jr.'s like, no. Ruiz Jr. is rebuilding himself and trying to learn that Canelo style for heavyweights.
And he wants to fight AJ and just cash out, in my opinion.
But it's still, the point stands, fight the big fighters. Fight the good fighters.
You want payday?
I agree. I want Dill to fight the big, but Dill's already said he's only trying to fight the champions or easy fight. Like we know that. Like when the Wilder Fury stuff fell through, you saw him shout, "Yo, I'll."
Did he actually say that?
Yeah,
he was bad. He's like, I want an easy fight, man. Give me Brian Jennings or whatever.
He didn't physically say he wants an easy fight, but it's obviously that's what he wants. But he did say, "Listen, Wilder Fury fell through. 2 weeks' notice, I will fight. I will fight Wilder. He will do it." He was not capped. He will do it. I 1 million, a million. Wait, bro, 1,000,000% believe he'll do it.
Like, let me tell you capping, yeah. Let me tell you his capping, yeah.
Go on, why?
He hates, yeah. The only person he hates as much as Dillian Whyte is AJ. When AJ was like scratching the bottom of his pocket for a fight, yeah, a fight after the middle fight fell through, they threw Whyte's name in. What did he say? He hasn't got enough time.
Yeah, but bro,
a much bigger payday than
but the difference between AJ is everyone who wants to fight AJ try to play the same game. He's the cash cow, so they want 50-50 to get 50-50 or some form.
They're never getting 50-50 against AJ.
But that's what they want. No. But the reason why they want that is they'll have a belt. It's the same way as Caleb Plant is trying to play hardball. If you have the last piece of the undisputed puzzle, like we ain't got the AJ Wilder fight because he wants 50-50. He held out for 3 years or for however long because he wants 50-50.
How have you diverted this? This is crazy.
No. I'm just saying that's why Dillian Whyte wanted the WBC route. He didn't want to fight AJ.
Wait. You're saying.
So I'm saying this is what I'm saying. I'm saying he was chasing the WBC route, chasing Wilder, so he can get that WBC belt, so he can go into negotiations with AJ and have more leverage and not just accept whatever AJ offers him. So in this fight with Wilder, the reason why I believe he will take it on short notice, number one, he believes he can kick his ass. Number two, if he gets that WBC belt, then he can do what he's been wanting to do, which is go in negotiations with AJ and ask for more money. I promise you, if Wilder said, "Yo, Whyte, let's go," he will take it.
You know what you're forgetting,
but there's no belt there, though.
There's no belt.
There's no belt, man.
That they hate each other so much, man. I
don't think he will fight him for no belts.
He's not fighting him in 2 weeks. He's chatting shit. If he didn't fight AJ, who was a free belt champion at the time, 6 weeks training camp, apparently he was already training. You're not
fighting. He's so infatuated with that belt now. I don't think he's gonna fight
Wilder in 2 weeks.
He ain't fighting Wilder for that.
This sounds good. It literally just sounds good. But you say it sounds good. That's what your promoter is meant to do. Pick you up and make it sound like, yeah, you're the taking opportunity, you're a warrior.
I think it's cap as well. I'm with Sam.
I reckon he'll take it, but fair enough.
Nah, I don't think it will. There's just a belt equation for me. The belt won't be on the line.
There's no belt on the line. You're just fighting the dangerous fight.
And Whyte is absolutely infatuated with that belt at this point because he's gone through hell for that chance now. So if there's no belt on the line, what's the point?
He knows the fight. There's no fight going to happen. The whole thing's getting postponed. He knows that. So what do? You say Eddie Hearn puts that to him. Oh, would you have taken the fight? What do you say? Of course I was. Get me there right now. There's no fight. There's literally no fight.
I agree, Sam. I agree with Naeem as well. I don't think you should take easy fights, man. Because if that's what he's building up to fight one of those two, you take 3 bums and then you can't fight one of them, they're gonna flog you. And he has to have a championship mindset, in my opinion. He has to have a championship mindset now if he wants to get there. You know, it's like work. Before you get that promotion, you have to be working as that level. So yeah, that's just my opinion as well.
Yeah. If he's waiting for AJ Fury, he's going to be waiting for at least like what 2 years? Because let's say they do get it on. These lot fight like what once every 6 months, man. Then they're gonna have a rematch clause.
I know for a fact he's gonna pressure Eddie Hearn. He's gonna pressure the WBC. He's gonna try to stop Undisputed. So my thing is, we're not getting Undisputed until mid 2022, probably at this point, because they're gonna.
Someone's gonna lose again. So
yeah, I agree. They're gonna have to rectify this Dillian Whyte situation, and if I'm Dillian Whyte, I'm like, no, fuck it. I want my shot, and they should give him a shot. Just beat him if you know what I mean. Just get him out of it. For whatever reason, Wilder or Fury just don't want to fight this guy.
He does pose problems, I guess. It's not an easy fight. So the only one that champions the top three that's for him is AJ. So I don't know. We'll see. But
they're seeing his chin is susceptible. Give him.
His chin is looking mad right now. I can't lie. His chin is dented. It's crazy, and that's why he's. I don't even know. I don't know about why, man. But I think that's it for today, guys. That's a good session right there. We've wrapped everything we need to wrap up. Everybody listening, make sure you use the Ringside Fracas hashtag on Twitter and get involved and talk to us, tweet us. We're going to be doing a lot more tweeting on the next upcoming weeks. Just talk some boxing. A few good fights coming up as well. And make sure you give us some good reviews on Apple. 5 stars only, please. And then, we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Peace.
Peace.